back. And this time we get to do something a little near and dear to my heart, something close to home in the beautiful Pacific Northwest where I'm living. Not there now, but gets me right here. Elysian and the Space Dust IPA. So Elysian is just kind of I think this might be the first of the Seattle breweries I've gotten a chance to do anything on, so I'm kind of excited about that. But anyway, this is a Seattle-based brewery. They've grown and expanded, kind of part of the craft beer craze. And this is their Space Dust IPA. So a super cool bottle with kind of a journey to the moon kind of hop cone blowing magical space dust on everything, which is kind of neat. And this is definitely a West Coast IPA, which, hey, I'm super excited about West Coast IPAs because West Coast IPAs are what got me into the whole craft beer scene in the first place. And now it seems super quaint because there's New England IPAs and milkshake IPAs and all this other craziness, but the fact that there's a good old-fashioned bitter hoppy IPA is kind of awesome. So this guy here, looking at the bottle and talking on the website, is Amarillo, Citra, and Chinook hops. So this isn't going to be a fruit basket of an IPA. This one's going to have some bitterness in it, which I kind of like, to be honest with you. And it's going to be 8.2% ABV and 73 IBUs. So yep, West Coast IPA all the way, bitter and strong. So that's kind of what I expect, you know, in the world. It's not sessionable. It's going to be bitter. It's going to be hoppy, and I like that. So let's get this guy into the glass and see what we have to work with here. Trust me, when I get my $1 million contract, the studio will be totally improved. All right. So right off the top of my head there, it is a very clear, so obviously filtered, straw-colored IPA with about maybe 1.5 fingers of white head. So nothing mind-blowing there. Let's swirl them up, get a little whiff on the nose. I learned this from Matt from Massive Beer Review. So yeah, right off the bat, exactly what you'd expect there. Hop dankness. This is definitely not the more fruity, citrusy hops. This doesn't have a sweetness to it. It's just dank. It's that hop aroma that the kind of funky dankness, vegetal quality, and you can tell it's going to be a bitter IPA. And just behind that is malt, so kind of a sweet malt backbone, and then a little bit of just a hint of a little bit of booziness. I mean, maybe it's there, maybe it's not. We'll see it on the taste, but sometimes with these kind of beers, you get the higher alcohol, you get a little bit of booziness to it. So let's dive in there. Cheers. Okay. So yeah, that is a West Coast IPA. Right away, that's a West Coast IPA all day long. So the first thing you get is a punch of hop bitterness, a little bit of hop funkiness. There is some, I won't say a citrusy quality, but definitely a resinous kind of pininess almost. That definitely comes from the Citra and the Chinook. I mean, there's a tiny bit of citrus, but it's a bitter hop. It's a bitter beer. Maltiness right behind it. And then, actually, I'm surprised because with the 8.2% ABV, I kind of expected it to be a little boozier. Because have you ever had any beers that are like super triple imperial stouts or whatever, they're 10% alcohol and they taste boozy? You know, they just taste like there's a high alcohol content. Not a burn per se, but definitely there. This doesn't have that. This definitely has warmth. You know there's alcohol in it. This is not one you're going to crush 10 of these and be feeling your freshest. But the residual sweetness and the maltiness, I think the hop bill does a really nice job bittering that out and making it a very, very balanced beer. I mean, don't kid yourself. It's hoppy and it's high alcohol. It's a West Coast IPA. It's home for me. So if that means anything to you. So on Untappd, this guy was clocking in about 3.9 with lots of reviews. Kind of unscientifically, I tend to use the number of check-ins and reviews on Untappd as sort of a gauge as how widely available this beer is. If 1,000 people have reviewed it, maybe kind of limited. If 400,000 people have reviewed it, it's much more accessible, at least regionally, if not nationally. So this guy is also brewed, in addition to Seattle, it's brewed in Fort Collins, Colorado, according to the bottle. So there is some pretty good, at least West Coast distribution. So something to consider is about 400,000 check-ins on this. So my completely arbitrary, remember, I may be biased because I like hoppy West Coast IPAs, so if this is an artificially inflated number, remember, none of this means anything. It's a well-made beer, but I give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Really enjoyable beer. Just hits right in the sweet spot of what I love. So like I said, 100% biased. Don't send me to Facebook review jail over that, but yeah, it is definitely something I enjoy. Cool. So I think that's all we got going on. Please comment below if you've had this or any of the other Elysian beers, because it's something I was able to get my hands on out here at World Headquarters before I get back stateside, and worth taking a look at. Otherwise, remember, please click down below to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and it actually helps not only you get reviews and listen to my ugly mug talk to you, but it also helps other people find the channel. It's weird, it's YouTube, it's science. But other than that, I think we're all done today. I will definitely, until we meet again, beer friends, cheers. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe for even more great beer stuff.